welcome everybody. My name's Sarah. I'm a yoga instructor located here in Saskatoon. I teach for SaskPoly and under Breathe, Move, Grow, and I'm excited to bring another class to you today. I encourage you to listen to your own body, your own limits. You can choose whatever variation you would like. Today, our goal here is just to move a little bit, breathe a little bit, and break up our day. So let's get started on our backs. We're gonna ease our way down onto the mat. Feel those shoulders and head relax down. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. We're gonna start by bringing those hands onto the belly. Perhaps letting those eyes float closed. And then we're just gonna take a moment to breathe in really deep, raising that belly nice and high. And exhale long, feeling that belly fall back down, belly button to spine. Inhale that belly up nice and big, feeling the movement with your hands. Exhale, slowly feel the belly button come toward the spine. Do a few more of those belly breaths to your own speed. Feeling the growth of the belly beneath the head. Our goal with these belly breaths is just to start to transition from the morning part of our day into this break time, this time just for you. It's time to feel your body and your back. Move your attention to the top of your head now. Sensing the area around the eyes, temples, the jaw. And as you slowly move your awareness down your body, just take a moment to notice any areas of tension you're wanting to release in the next while. Make note of any areas of openness that feel pretty good. Notice those areas of injury and healing you want to treat with compassion and kindness today. This body scan as you move from head to toe helps us start our practice with awareness, helps us maintain our health as we learn to listen to our body and the little messages. And as we move through our practice today, I encourage you to stay around a 75% level with those stretches. We don't want to move into our max right away. We want to increase what we're doing, but we want to do it in a safe manner so we all feel better from our practice. Then we're slowly going to bring those knees back together on the center of the mat. Then we're going to bring the right knee into the chest, wrapping those hands around the shin. And you have an option to keep this left knee bent, or perhaps you want to extend it down the mat. Inhaling deep. Exhaling long. Maybe bring that knee a little bit more. Then we're going to take a moment to draw some circles with our knee, just like we had a marker on the end of the knee. We're moving around in that hip. Add a little bit of mobility to start off with. Those circles might be a little clunky. That's okay. We're just reminding our hip that it can move. And then we're going to pause and begin to move those circles with the knee in the opposite direction. So then we're thinking about the movement from the knee, it's actually coming from our hip. Adding some looseness into the hip area. Beautiful. Then we're going to pause. We're going to bend this left knee again, plant the foot on the floor. Bring the right knee out to the side, crossing the ankle over the knee, making this little figure four. You're pushing your leg away from your torso. Perhaps you're feeling the stretch in your butt or your hip. And if this feels like you're 75%, you're going to stay here, feel your breath. And if you have room to grow, you can bring up the head and the shoulders. Reach one hand through, one hand around as you pick up that foot. Wrap the hands around the thigh and melt back down. Whichever option you are taking today, sending your breath, your focal point of your breath, to where you feel that stretch. And it looks like we have about 12 or so different bodies today. So all our poses are going to look different. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. You don't want it to look like mine. Just listen to your body and go, how can I move so I feel that stretch, that change in sensation in my hip, my sit bones. And then if your leg is up, you can slowly release those fingers, planting the foot back on the floor. You can bring those arms out into a T if you have room, or you can bring them into a cactus position, bending at the elbows. And then you're slowly going to roll to the left-hand side, bringing that right foot down to the ground into a twist variation. Your hip doesn't like the position with the knee up. You can always stack those legs on top of each other, finding the twist variation that works for you. Maybe you want to bring that right gaze over your right shoulder, looking toward that right elbow or palm. Feeling that deep inhale and long exhale as your breath moves through your body. And we'll inhale that gaze back to center. Slowly unwind the twist and crossing the leg. Just taking a moment to extend those legs out. And noticing the difference between your right side and your left side. We've moved one side of the body, the right side. And that left side is waiting for its turn. And then we're going to slowly bring both feet flat on the mat. And then now the left knee comes into the chest. Inhaling deep. Exhaling long. Option to extend that right leg long. And drawing circles with that knee, moving the hip. And just approximation of a circle. Shake here, just building new movement patterns in your body, and that is a good thing. Perhaps imagining the color of what your marker is as you draw those circles. And then pause. And begin to move the other way. Feeling the movement come from the hip. Especially if you've been sitting all morning like me, this can feel kind of nice. Finding your hip, it does move. And then we're going to bring that left leg up, foot plants on the floor. And we're going to turn the knee out, making a figure four on the other side. Pushing that leg away. Noticing if you feel this in your inner thigh, in your butt muscles. And honoring your body as you decide if this is where you are today, or if you want to roll up and reach those hands on either side of your thigh, melting back down. Wherever you are, just checking in with those toes, letting them relax. You don't need to point them or flex them. We're trying to keep the sensation changes into our butt muscle and our hip muscles in that area today. Letting go of the
stressing the toes. Inhaling deep. Exhaling long. Your foot is up. We're slowly releasing those hands to plant the right foot on the floor. Bringing those arms out into a cactus or a T and slowly twisting toward the right side. That left foot reaching for the ground. Feeling free to take a different variation if that works for you. Your gaze can come over the left-hand side. And if you're running into a wall or a coffee table and you need to shuffle around a little bit, I had to move away from the wall there. Not sure if you saw that. That's okay, that's just part of your practice. Feeling that inhale and exhale. What you do is you notice, oh, there's a wall there or a coffee table. Just notice it and then go back to I inhale, I exhale. And slowly bringing that head back to center, gaze to center. Lifting yourself out of that twist. Slowly uncrossing the legs. Stretching them out. Noticing how your hips and glute area feels now that both sides have been moved the same way. Bending those knees and planting the feet on the ground. Reaching those arms behind you nice and long. And then slowly letting those knees drop to one side as you pull yourself over onto your side body. Staying here just for a moment, arm can be a pillow. Just take a moment to acknowledge your intention of being here today. Why is movement important to you? Connecting with yourself, remembering your why. I like to keep my health span nice and healthy. I'm going to press my head into the ground and slowly come on up. Then we're going to flip around into tabletop. Spreading those fingers nice and wide, index fingers forward. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders are stacked. Knees and hips are stacked. We're going to take a moment on the exhale to drop the belly, bring the sit bones up. Chest comes through, gaze comes up. Total cow pose. Exhale, push the ground away. Start to arch the back like a cat. Belly button comes into the spine. Relax the head. And then exhale, begin to reverse again. Dropping the belly, chest comes through, gaze comes up. Then exhale, push the ground away, beginning to arch up like a cat, moving nice and slow. And then doing one more of those to your own breath movement. Going through molasses, feeling how slowly you can articulate that spine. Our spine is made up of many little bones. And exhale, come back to neutral spine. I'm going to change my point of view here. You're going to take your right leg, you're going to stick it behind you, press those toes into the ground, push the heel away, and you're stretching out this hip flexor. You also may be feeling it in the back of the calf. And then you're going to come forward a little bit, pick up that back leg nice and long, reaching it long. Perhaps you want to add the left arm out for a little bit of balance work. Gaze can be at the floor, down those fingers, belly button to spine. And then exhale, bring your left hand down back to tabletop, but that right foot's actually going to come out to the side, planting the foot. Then you're going to walk those hands back to your body, come on up nice and tall to gate pose. Really push that left foot into the ground, anchoring it down. Bring those arms out to the side. And then we're gonna start to lean over. Ooh. Change that orientation. Reach with the left hand down to the ground. You're gonna push it away. And then keep moving this top right hand up and over, palms gonna face the ground. And you're stretching all the way from this left foot, all the way out these fingers. Maybe noticing the difference if you go at a diagonal with an arm, versus if you begin to make a rainbow, you can add a little bit more of a stretch into your shoulder area. Maybe you want to experiment with the gaze coming up, feeling the change in the neck. Checking in with that breath. Then on your exhale, we're slowly going to bring this arm back on up. Gauge the side body, come up on those fingertips. Slowly come on up nice and high. We're going to continue to move the twist to the other side. This one may not go as far, the top arm may not want to move very far. So check in with yourself, not pushing it, allowing gravity to help. When we really push ourselves into our max range, that's when we pull muscles and we can't move very well the next day. So keeping yourself within that 70, 75 stretch. And over time, you're going to increase that range of motion. All right, let's inhale up. Come back to our tabletop. And let's do a few cat and cow to rinse that out. So to your own breath, your own speed. Although I encourage you to try this slowly today. How many areas of your back can you feel moving? When I started yoga, I could feel maybe 3 or 4 areas of my back wanting to move separately. Now I might be at 7. But what we're doing is training ourselves to recognize that we actually have more than just a back. One thing, it's actually made up of a bunch of little pieces. Now we can learn to move. So after your next set of cat-cow, coming back to a neutral spine. And this time we're going to reach the left leg out long, pressing those toe mounds into the ground, pushing the heel away, feeling that stretch down the leg, connecting with that breath. Then we're going to inhale up that left leg nice and long. I like to flex my foot, it helps me practice for warrior 3 later. Option to inhale up that right arm nice and long, reaching from the shoulder. Belly button to spine. And then let's exhale down the right hand. We're going to bring this left leg out to the side, planting the foot, then walking those hands back up so that you can sit nice and tall. I change my orientation for you. So let's really push that foot into the ground, bringing those arms out to the sides, reaching long, engage those arms, make sure the stretch is there, the engagement is there. And let's begin to lean away from that outreached leg, tipping down, finding the ground, spreading the fingers, pushing the ground away. As we continue to bring that top arm up and over, feeling this perhaps in our hip, our side body, shoulder, many different areas we can feel it. Perhaps the gaze comes up to the ceiling, feeling that breath. And as you exhale, slowly begin to move the arm back up, engaging the side body, rising up on the fingertips of the right hand. You slowly come up to gate. Then exhale, let's continue that stretch the other direction. Stretching out the opposite side. Inhaling deep. Exhaling long. And we're going to inhale ourselves back on up. Taking a moment to find our tabletop. We're going to move those knees back slightly, tuck the toes, and we're going to begin to push the front of the mat away, which should raise our knees. And keep pushing the front of the mat away as you raise those sit bones up. The knees can stay bent into this little modified down dog with really bent knees. We're focusing on the shoulders and the arms today. So we're pushing the front of the mat away. And then perhaps you want to walk the dog, bending one knee a little bit more than the other and then switching. Thinking about raising those sit bones high. Looking back at those feet and letting the neck relax down. And then we're going to move to stillness. So those knees can still be bent, but we're going to stop moving. Gaze can be back. And then we're going to start to walk those hands back toward our feet, toward the back of the mat. Our heels gradually reach to the ground. Belly comes to the thighs. Bend the knees. We're going to forward fold. Relax the head and neck. We're really thinking to have nice bent knees here so that we can keep the stretch in our back. And if you're like, I can maybe move my legs a bit more, I want to see, think about lifting your hips, not straightening your legs, but lifting those hips high. Just until you feel that sensation when you're like, okay, I'm good. And then inhaling and exhaling. Letting those arms hang. Feel those feet press into the ground. Bending the knees a bit more, pushing the feet into the ground. Let's sweep those arms forward and up as we slowly start to stand up, reaching those arms high. Gaze is up, arms are up. Bringing those palms together and exhaling, hands through heart center. Arms by your sides. Standing tall. And as inhale, sweep those arms forward and up. Exhale, slightly bend the knees, hinge at the hips, and let's begin to forward fold, melting that back leg top. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees enough so you can plant those hands on the ground. Bring that belly button to your spine, and let's start to walk those hands out. Moving all the way to plank pose here. So with your plank, you're thinking belly button to spine. Really pushing those toes into the ground and pushing those arms away. Option to also do this from the knees. Checking in with that breath. Make sure it's still deep. And then as we exhale all the way down to the mat, let's keep those elbows in. Coming all the way down. Walking those hands out to the sides of the mat, tenting them, the fingers like spiders. We can untuck those toes. We're going to use the upper back to raise up. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, lift the chest and the head. Gaze stays down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raise the chest and the head, thinking nice and long, extending that back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Bring the hands in beside the chest. Tuck those toes. Begin to push yourself back up to a plank on the knees. That's a little bit of muscle work, however you need to do it. And then let's push ourselves back. Pushing the front of the mat away, raising those knees, finding your down dog. Option to find tabletop. And then we're going to look forward, bringing the right knee into the chest as we float forward, looking at that space between the hands, and we're going to melt that foot down, refining our lunge. So however you get here, right foot in the front, left foot coming back. You have an option to bring the knee down or keep it up. I'm going to demo with the knee down today. You get to pick your knee up or down today. That's up to you. Wherever you are, we're gonna bring those arms up nice and high. That knee is down low, you can untuck those toes. And then the arm that is on the same side, your right arm, same side as the knee. We're gonna inhale, exhale, begin to move the right arm back, following the gaze. We're gonna make a circle. Then inhale that arm up. Exhale, begin to circle the arm back, watching the gaze. And inhale up. One more. Exhale, circle the arm. Inhale that arm up. Looking high. And then exhale, let's bring those hands down beside our foot. Tuck those back toes. Stepping back to your plank again. From the toes or the knees, yogi's choice. Exhale, let's go all the way down, elbows in. Untuck those toes. Bring the heads off the mat, tenting those fingers. Inhale up, extending the spine. Exhale down. Bring those hands beside the chest, tucking the toes. Pushing yourself back to tabletop or down dog, yogi's choice. We're gonna inhale, looking forward. This time we're gonna bring the left knee into the chest as we shift forward, stepping that right foot between the hands. And we're gonna do the same knee as last time. So mine was down, I'm gonna stay down. I'm gonna come up. Reaching those arms nice and high. Stretching those pinkies. And then we're gonna start to move that shoulder. So I'm gonna inhale, watching my hand as it circles back. Then exhale, bring the arm up. Inhale. Exhale. And your breath is just helping guide the movement. First half, and then the second half. Was that 3? I think that was 3. We're gonna reach high and then bring those hands down on either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes, step back to your plank. Checking in belly button to spine, checking that those fingers are spread and you're pushing the ground away. We're gonna exhale all the way down, nice and slow. Bringing those hands out to the side, tenting the fingers. Inhale up the chest and head, extending the spine. Exhale down. Bring those hands beside the chest, tucking the toes. Bringing yourself back to tabletop and or down dog. We're gonna exhale. Looking back at the feet, and we're gonna walk those feet, those hands back to their feet, the back of the mat, bending those knees into a forward fold. Allowing the spine to just hang, the neck and head, maybe you wanna shake it side to side a little bit. A little yes, a little no. Letting any tension in the neck go. And then feeling those feet press into the ground. You're slowly going to begin to roll yourself up, nice and tall. Those hands are going to reach down to the ground, spine stacks tall. And just take a moment to feel that breath as you inhale and exhale there. Beautiful. Now we're going to inhale up on those toes, nice and high. And just for some fun, just stretch out those calves, those Achilles. Stay on the balls of the feet. Let's try and walk to the front of the mat on the toes. A little bit of balance, a little bit of fun, maybe some laughter. Woo! And wobbling. And then once you're on the front of the mat, you're slowly going to release those heels back down. Nice little elevator move. Let's bring those feet together, legs together. We're gonna inhale, sweeping those arms forward. Exhale, sit your sit bones back into a chair pose.
Beautiful. So you're really sitting back. Look down to see if you can see your toes. If your knees are hovering, covering your toes, I want you to move your sit bone back a little bit more. Let's inhale, lift toes. Exhale, can you set down your big toe all by itself? This can be hard, but over time they'll start to listen to you. You've been with me for a while and you're on those index toes, feeling free to set those down. And the rest at your own speed. And exhale, lift forward fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands beside the foot. And let's step back with the right foot, nice and long. And you're gonna pivot that heel down so that it's sideways to the other foot, bending the front knee, cartwheeling up those arms into warrior two. So one of your feet is pointing straight ahead, the other foot's pointing the opposite way. Whew. And I'm gonna turn around so you can see my front body. There we go. So taking a moment that if you're really feeling like, I can't keep it here, shorten your stance a little bit, bending into the front knee. If it's not feeling, you're not feeling a stretch, then making that stance wider. We're reaching those arms in opposite directions. And then as you exhale, you're gonna reach forward, bringing this left arm onto the thigh, pushing away. Morning claps, push away, and then reach that top hand up and over. Very similar to what we did at the start of class. Pushing that left foot into the ground as you extend that arm from the shoulder, feeling that side body stretch open. You guys got this, feel that breath. And then you're gonna bring that arm back on up. You're gonna sweep it down toward the ground. Pivot your back toe and plant those hands on either side of your foot. Stepping in about halfway. Walking those fingers about a foot in front, tension the fingers, flexing the back foot. Let's bring that back foot up. This is where we get to play with a little bit of balance. Let's begin to raise those hands up, maybe playing patty cake with the floor. And depending on your space in your house, maybe you want to bring those arms out to the side for airplane. Maybe you want to bring them back behind you or in front for warrior three. Taking whatever option you'd like here, just playing around with the balance on the left leg. Then exhale, let's bring those hands back down. Back foot comes to meet the front, nice and slow. Forward fold. And then we're gonna bend the knees, sit the sit bones back, sweep the arms up into a chair. You guys got this. Sit those sit bones back, reach those hands forward. Bring the hands to heart center. And exhale, we're gonna stand. Nice and tall, take a moment. Feel those legs. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Then inhale, sweep the arms up, sit bones come back. Feel that chair pose. Look down at the feet, look for the toes. Lift those toes up. And then set them down nice and slow. Forward fold on your exhale. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Step back with the left foot this time. Pivoting that back foot. So your front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Bend the front knee. Let's cartwheel those arms up to warrior two. Just reaching front to back, nice and long. Checking with both your arms, so if one's hanging out down here, let's bring it back up. Gaze can be over the front palm. Then exhale, let's begin to reach long with the right arm. Right hand comes on the thigh, pushing away. And then bringing that arm up and over, side angle, opening up the side body. Inhaling deep. Exhale. And then let's begin to circle this arm back
Nice and slow down to the mat. Pivoting that back foot so you can bring both hands onto the ground, stepping forward about halfway with that back foot. Walking those hands forward, tenting the fingers, flexing the back foot. Let's raise it up. And then whichever option you'd like to play with to balance around on this right foot. Arms can come out to the side with airplane. You can come forward for warrior three. Whew, mine are coming behind me and onto my table for a little bit of balance there for a moment. Playing around with your space. You want to play around balancing on the right leg, and if you have to keep getting out and in and out and in, just having a little fun with it. Our bodies are learning to recover in balance here. And then exhale, let's bring those hands down. Back foot meets the front. Bend those knees, sweep those arms up. Finding a chair. Hands to heart center. Feel those feet connect with the ground. Push into the ground and rise up. Arms by the side, standing tall, closing those eyes. Feeling the breath, the heartbeat. Feeling that movement. Just fixing my screen here. And then let's open those eyes. Standing those feet about hip width apart. Feeling the feet connect with all of the corners, all of the spaces in the ground. And let's let the left foot get heavy, right foot gets light. And we're gonna bring that leg up to a 90-degree bend and flexing that bottom foot so it stays nice and solid. My right hand's on my knee, left hand's on my hip. You have an option to stay here working on that balance. If you'd like, you can begin to open that right hip so the knee comes out. Whew. It's okay if you wobble, I just did. Option to bring the hand off the hip, thumb comes up just like you might be hitchhiking. And you also have the option to bring that gaze over the left thumb. We're playing with the balance here. You can stop at whichever little option you would like. And then we're slowly gonna come in reverse. Gaze comes to the front, hand comes to the hip. Knee slowly comes in. It's okay if you wobble, if you fall out, just get back in. And let's lower that leg down. Shake it out. What I love about yoga is you can see your progress through the months and through the years. As you're able to add more of those options on, it shows how you can grow. So you're gonna feel this time the left foot get heavy, right foot gets light. We're gonna slowly bring that left foot up to a 90 degree. Left hand on the knee, right hand on the hip. Option to stay here. Option to open the left hip to the side. Whew, there I go wobbling. I find my balance has a lot to do with my sleep. Option to bring out the right hand. Thumb comes up. Option to gaze over that thumb. Moving that gaze can add a nice challenge. And then let's bring that gaze back. Hand to the hip. Bringing that knee in. We're slowly gonna set that foot down. However you did, I want you to pat yourself on the back. Balancing work can be fun and hard. Some days it's easy. We're gonna let that go. We're gonna walk those feet out to the sides, perhaps a little off the mat, or you can step sideways on the mat. The toes are gonna go at about 45 degrees. We're gonna inhale those arms up nice and tall. One more time, reaching the side body, bringing those palms together. We're gonna slowly begin to squat, bringing those knees out over the toes, and staying nice and high in the active squat. Keep pushing those feet away, even if you drop to a lower yogi squat. I want you to push those feet into the ground. Finding your resting place, your stopping place may not be a rest. And you're just gonna inhale deep. Exhale long.
Feel those feet push strongly into the ground. And then we're going to slowly bring those hands to the ground. Bring our sit bones to the ground. And we're going to find our boat. So we're going to bend the knees, feet planted on the floor. Nice tall spine. So again, we don't want to curve and sit back. We're going to sit nice and tall, stacking those vertebrae like Lego blocks. Bringing those hands behind the hips. You're going to squeeze those legs together. And then you're slowly going to begin to push those toes into the ground as you tip back to the place where those feet want to lift. Option to bring one arm and then the other out front. Doing a little bit of balance, a little bit of core work. If you want, you can begin to raise those feet and maybe extend the legs, but if you start to do this curving thing, you want to go back a step so you can have that nice long spine. And then wherever you are, you're going to inhale and exhale. And then we're slowly going to come down. Bring the hands on either side of the hips, just behind a little bit. Walk those feet a little wider than hip width apart. Really feel the hands push away, the feet push into the ground. And then we're slowly going to use the feet and the hands to raise the butt up. Once the butt's hovering, use those glute muscles to raise the hips up into a reverse tabletop. So you're pushing the floor away with your feet. With your hands, you're using the butt muscles to squeeze together. Raise those hips nice and high. Ears can be forward. Heels okay, can be back. Release twice. Then exhale, slowly begin to lower those sit bones. Beautiful. We're gonna walk ourselves back onto those forms, coming down onto the mat. You guys got this. We're gonna walk those feet wide, knees come together, making an inverted V. And you have the option, if you have the room, to reach those arms up overhead, reaching behind you. Just feeling that nice extension with the arms. And if that spacing doesn't work for you behind your head, then I just want you to bring those hands back to the belly. Feel the rise and fall of that breath. And just notice how your breath and heart rate may have changed since the beginning of practice today. Those hands are over your head if they're stretched long. You're going to begin to sweep them up and over, coming back, and then melting them down to the ground. And then placing them on the belly to feel that breath. You can heel toe those feet back to the center. We're going to bring the knees to the chest, wrapping those arms around the shins. Option to stay here in this little hug, or to bring those feet up flat toward the ceiling, knees bent. Hands reach up and through to the shins, the ankles, or the tops of the feet. You bend those knees and come into happy baby. It's an option. Hugging those knees in is an option. Wherever you are, perhaps saying, I inhale, I'm aware of my body. I exhale, I calm my body. Nice little yoga mantra to keep the focus on the now. Then we're slowly going to release those feet, bringing the knees back together. We're holding these into the chest. You're slowly going to release that as well, planting those feet on the floor. And then extending those legs one at a time, heels to the corners of the mat.
reaching those fingers down towards your toes, arms out at about 45 degrees, and feeling the back of the palm on the floor. Slightly tucking your chin into your chest and finding your final rest. We're going to inhale deep and exhale through the mouth, noticing how your back body likes to spread out on the mat with that nice long exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale long through the mouth, feeling the back body spread into the mat. One more deep inhale. Exhale long. If you have time in your day to stay here longer, please do. It's amazing how staying in Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes and just sinking into the floor can help you reset your thoughts, your day. If you're unable to stay in Shavasana at this time, we're going to bend those knees and plant the feet, bringing those legs together. Perhaps reaching those arms up overhead if you have room. And then slowly allow those knees to drop to one side, rolling over nice and slow, letting the weight from the knees bring you up and over. Pausing here for a moment, and wherever you are, taking this opportunity to think of one thing today that you are grateful for. Giving thanks. And we're going to plant that top hand onto the ground. Push into the ground and slowly come up. Head comes up last. Coming to a comfortable seat. Resting those hands on the lap, allowing your spine to grow tall. Option to bring the hands to heart center. And we'll end together with one deep inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Letting today's practice go. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday lunch hour practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.